Hello, my little woolly. In today's tutorial, you will learn how to knit these beautiful mittens, specially done for beginners. They are super easy to knit. Both mittens grow the same from the ribbon up to here. Then the stitch count for the thumb will change a little bit, but the construction of the thumb and the rest of the mitten up to the top is the same for both mittens. And we will have them in 3 different sizes for toddlers, for children, and for women. You will find the reading instructions, as usual, on my website, sowoolly.net. And there is a link for you below this video on the description box, just below the title of the video. If you can knit and purl, you can do them. The materials are just a little bit of worsted weight yarn. This is merino wool, and you will find the details in the pattern, from 50 grams up to 90 grams for the largest size. US 7 or 4.5 millimeter knitting needles, darning or tapestry needle, scissors, and rule or measurement tape. Very important, please knit a swatch. A 4 by 4 inches or 10 by 10 centimeters square knitted in stockinette stitch equals 20 stitches and 30 rows. If you are getting more stitches, you need to go up a needle size. On the contrary, if you are getting fewer stitches, you need to go down a needle size. Okay, grab your needles, a little bit of yarn, and let's get busy. The left and the right mittens start the same way. First, we will knit the ribbing and then the stockinette stitch section. For the smallest size, I'm going to cast on 30 stitches, and I'm using the long tail cast on method. You can use the method you prefer. First row, right side of the work. We start with knit 1, the edge stitch, and here comes the repeat. The repeat is what you will find between asterisks on the written instructions. Remember, you can find my patterns on my website, sowoolly.net, and there is a link for you below this video in the description box, just below the title of the video. The repeat is knit 2, 1, 2, purl 2, 1, 2. That's it. Let's do it again. Knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, and keep repeating until there is 1 stitch left. So I'm finishing the first row here, knit 2, purl 2. When I get to the last stitch, only on this first row, I like to work it through the back loop. So I'm going to knit the last one, the edge stitch, through the back loop. This way we can avoid a huge loop there. Second row, we start with purl 1, the edge stitch, and the rest is the same. The repeat is knit 2, purl 2. We are knitting or working what we see. When we see the V, we knit. When we see the bump, we purl. That's called working each stitch as it presents. Knit 2, purl 2, or knit the knits and purl the purls. So keep repeating to the end of the row. ending with purl 1, the edge stitch. Okay, we have complete 2 rows of the 2x2 rib stitch. Keep repeating these 2 rows until it measures from the cast on edge 4.5 centimeters or 1 inch and 3/4 for the smallest size. The other size will have a longer ribbing, so please check out the pattern and I'll see you there. Now that it measures what we need, I ended with the wrong side row. This is the right side. We're going to work a stockinette stitch section. So first row, just knit every stitch to the end of the row. So I'm finishing here. Remember, knit every stitch. Second row, purl every stitch. Just keep purling to the end of the row. When finished, keep repeating rows 1 and 2 until you complete 6 rows of stockinette stitch for the smallest size, and I'll see you there. Right mitten. Now it's time to start the increase section. So, for the smallest size, we have to knit 15 stitches. And here comes the first increase. So, take the right leg from the stitch from the row below, the right leg of the V. Take it with your right hand needle and put it onto the left hand needle. Knit that leg and knit the stitch. We have increased 1 stitch. And now repeat the process. Take the right leg from the stitch from the row below, put it onto the left hand needle, knit the leg and knit the stitch. We have increased 2 stitches. And now knit to the end of the row. Now we have 32 stitches. Second and every even row are plain purl rows. You just have to purl every stitch. There will be no increases. So keep purling to the end, and I'll see you in row 3. Third row, we have to knit 15 stitches as we did per row 1. And now we have to do, again, 2 increases. Take the right leg from the stitch on the row below, put it onto the left hand needle, knit the leg, knit the stitch. We have increased 1. Now knit 2, 1, 2, and increase another 1. Take the right leg, put it onto the left hand needle, knit the leg, and knit the stitch. We have increased another 1. Now we have 34 stitches, and knit to the end of the row. Row 4 is another purl row, so just purl every stitch and I'll see you on row 5. Row 5. We have to knit 15 stitches as we did before on rows 3 and 1. And here comes another increase. Take the right leg From the stitch on the row below, put it onto the left hand needle, knit the leg, knit the stitch, and now knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and make another increase. Right leg, knit, and knit the stitch. And now knit to the end of the row. Row 6 is another plain purl row, so we just have to purl every stitch to the end of the row. Remember, I'm knitting the smallest size. For the other sizes, there will be more increased rows, and the pattern will tell you exactly what to do. No worries, same process, just more rows where you will be increasing. Now that we have finished the increase section, we're going to start working on the thumb. So, for the smallest size, we have to knit 23 stitches. Now turn the work and cast on 3 stitches. Knit, turn, and put it onto the left hand needle. We have cast on 1. Repeat the process. Knit, turn, put it back, 2 stitches, and the last one. Knit, turn, and put it onto the left hand needle. We have cast on 3. Turn the work, and now we have to slip these stitches onto a piece of scrap yarn. Now we have to turn the work. We're facing the wrong side, and we have to purl 13 stitches. 1, 2, 3. After the first 3, we have a huge loop here, so I'm going to purl this one only through the back loop to try to close this hole. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And now we have to pass the remaining stitches onto another piece of scrap yarn. And now the only thing we have to do is concentrate on these 13 stitches and work in stockinette stitch, just facing the right side, knit every stitch, turn, and now facing the wrong side, just purl every stitch. and continue working in stockinette stitch until it measures from here, from the 3 stitches we cast on, for the smallest size, 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. And I'll meet you there. Okay, now we just have to knit 2 stitches together across the row. And knit the last. And here we have to cut the yarn, but we need to leave enough yarn to pass it through these stitches and then swap the thumb. So I would say the double of those 2 lengths, or more than the double, so you have enough yarn to weave in the ends afterwards. Thread your tapestry needle and pass it through the remaining stitches. Pull and pass it through. And you can leave them here. Now we're not going to sew up, we're going to knit more. Okay, so facing the wrong side, we're going to pass those stitches that are on hold onto our knitting needle. One by one, there is no rush because you don't want to miss any. Now you can pull the scrap yarn and continue to the other side. And pull the scrap yarn. Turn the work, join new yarn, leaving a nice tail so we can weave in the ends later on. And now we're going to knit every stitch until we get to the base of the thumb. Pull the yarn, pull this yarn, and keep knitting. Here, we're going to pick up and knit 2 stitches from this side of the thumb. So we can do that. 1, and here another one, just at the base of the thumb. And repeat the same here. We can do 1 here, and 1 there. And keep knitting to the end of the row. Okay, next row is a purl row. We don't have to do anything but purling to the end of the row. Now, the only thing we need to do is to keep working in stockinette stitch until it measures from the cast on edge For the smallest size, 14.5 centimeters or 5 inches and 3/4. And I'll see you there. Okay, now it's time to change color and shape the top of the mitten. I cut the yarn. This is optional. If you want to make the mitten in one color only, no problem at all. So the old yarn goes into the back. I leave another nice tail, and here we're going to do some decreases. So for the smallest size, the repeat is knit 2 together, knit 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Once more, knit 2 together, knit 3. 1, 2, 3. And repeat to the end of the row. There will be 6 stitches less. Next row is a purl row. No decreases will be made, just purl every stitch. And I'll meet you for row 3. Okay, on row 3, the repeat is, for the smallest size, knit 2 together, knit 2. 1 and 2. And repeat. Knit 2 together, knit 2. That's it. Keep repeating to the end of the row. We will have 6 stitches less. So at the end of this row, we will have 18 stitches. And row 4 is again a purl row. Just purl every stitch. Let's do that and I'll see you there. Next row. For the smallest size, the repeat is knit 2 together, knit 1. That's it. Knit 2 together, knit 1. And repeat to the end of the row. Next row is again a purl row. So just purl every stitch. And I'll see you on last row. Now I have 12 stitches, and on this last row, for the smallest size, the repeat is knit 2 together across the row. So we will end up with 6 stitches. So now we can cut the yarn, but we need to have a tail long enough to pass it through those stitches and then to sew up the mitten. So this distance twice, and then this distance twice, and a little bit more. Cut the yarn, thread your tapestry needle and pass it through. Pull and close the little circle. Maybe once more, just to be sure. Okay, now this part is a little bit funny because the decreases were made at the beginning of each row, so it's not easy to find the little bar between the edge and the first column of V's, or the first stitch. Now that we have passed through that part, you have to stretch the fabric a little bit so you can see the little bar between the edge and the first stitch. And just pass your tapestry needle below the little bar on one side first and then on the other side. And continue to the end. This is how the invisible seaming looks like. Now, when you get to the end, we have to weave in the ends. So I like to take the working yarn as far as possible from the edge, from the cast on edge. And just pass it through some stitches. It won't affect the looks of the cuff. And go up and down a little bit. And split the yarn and make a double knot, or triple if you prefer. Now I want to close this little gap, so thread the tapestry needle and just close it as if we were knitting in the round. And it's done. And repeat the process. Take the working yarn as far as possible from the edge. Now we have to do the same with the thumb. We close it the last time. We need to find again the little bar on each side and pass the tapestry needle through it, one by one. So that's done. Left mitten. Remember when we started, I told you that both mittens had the same amount of stitches, the same rows in 2x2 rib, and then the same amount of rows in stockinette stitch. Now it's time for the increase section. Remember, this is the smallest size, and the first row of increases goes like this. Knit 13 stitches. Now we have to increase one stitch. Remember, take the right leg from the stitch in the previous row, put it onto the left hand needle, knit the leg and knit the stitch. We have increased one, and now we have to increase another one, so repeat the process. Take the leg, the right one, knit the leg, knit the stitch, and knit to the end of the row. Okay, so finish this row. The next one is a purl row, no increases will be made, and I'll see you in row 3. Okay, row 3. We start again with knit 13 stitches. And here we're going to increase one, knit the leg, knit the stitch. We have increased one stitch, knit 2, and increase another one. So right leg, knit the leg, knit the stitch. We have increased 2 stitches, and knit to the end of the row. Next row is again a purl row, so I'll see you in row 5. Row 5, we start again with knitting 13 stitches. And now we have to increase one stitch. Knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase another one. So again, knit to the end of the row, and row 6 is a purl row. Take into account that for the other sizes there will be more increased rows, but the process is exactly the same, just more rows because they are bigger. So I'll see you after row 6. Okay, now that we have finished all the increased rows, for the smallest size I have 36 stitches. And now we're going to create the thumb. So for the smallest size we have to knit 23 stitches. "21, 22, 23." As you can see now, we have the same number of stitches that we had for the right mitten. And to create the thumb, we have to turn the work and now follow the exact process that we did for the right mitten. From here onwards, both mittens are the same, so I'm not going to repeat the process. Just go back to the right mitten and create the thumb, do the same increases afterwards, change the color, shape the top, and sew it up. I'm going to finish mine to show you the final result. See you there. So there you have them. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and happy mittens knitting!